All right, let's go ahead and line up. So let's do, okay, Mr. Brandon, Brandon on the, or whatever. Yep. And then Mr. Giles, I'm going to stick you right here. Brandon, scoot over just a little bit. Mr. Ferreira, and then Carter. Noah on the very end over here, sir. Mr. Hammer, I'm going to have you over here. And then Miss Addie. Okay. Miss Francis, come over here. And then Miss Leah here. Okay. Yep. All right, from here, chin up. Face the flags. 국기에 대해 경례. All right, face me, please. Chin up. 사부님께 경례. All right, let's warm it up. Hands on the hips. Turn and hold your neck to the left for me. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. To the other side. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. It's time. Chin down into the chest. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And up. Hands together this time. Interlock your hands together. Waist rotations. 2 counts to the left, 2 counts to the right. Ready? 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 둘, 둘, 셋, 넷, 셋, 둘, 셋, 넷, 넷, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 둘, 셋, 넷, 여섯, 둘, 셋, 넷, 일곱, 둘, 셋, 넷, 여덟, 둘, 셋, 넷, 아홉, 둘, 셋, 넷, 열, 둘, 셋, and net. Feet together this time. Hands on your knees. Rotate your knees for me. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Other way. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Good. Spread your feet 2 shoulders apart. Turn and face to your left side from here. You're going to, or to your right side, you're going to bend your right knee and keep your left leg straight. All right, so you're going to sit down and hold that stretch. Ready? 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And up to the other side. Same thing. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And good. Keep facing that left side. Slowly slide your right leg back and go into side splits for me, please. So your left foot is straight. Try to get your right foot straight behind you. Put your left hand on the left side of your leg. Right hand on the right side of the leg. All right. Hold yourself up either with your fingertips. Right? If you can go a little bit lower than your fists, or if you can go really low, then right, just sit down and not hold yourself up at all. Come on, Miss Virginia. Oh my goodness. Hold it for 5 minutes. And slowly pivot to the middle now. So I want your feet to be like 2 side kicks to the side. Don't lean forward. Make sure that I can draw a line from one side of your body to the other. So the heels, the knees, and the hips should be in a straight line, side to side. Push your heels away. All right? Push your heels away from each other. Okay, so hold yourself up with your fingertips or your flat hand or drop down to your elbows to get a little extra stretch. You're leaning forward, Mr. Brandon. That's why it's not working. You need to go back more. You're still leaning forward. More back. Hold this for 10 minutes. And slowly pivot to the right side now. Keep that right leg straight. Try to get the left hand or right hand on the right side of the leg, left hand on the left side. Your right foot should be a front kick position. Your left foot should be a side kick position. So turn your shoulders, turn those hips a little bit. Once again, don't lay down. You need to be sitting up. Yeah. Once again, use your fingertips. If you can't get down very low, if you can get down lower, then you use your fists. You need to drink more water, Brandon. Okay. That'll help get that bruising away. And one more time, back to the center. Okay. Lean back a little bit. Push those heels out a little bit more and sit back. Go and sit back. So now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to reach out and you're going to grab your toes and lean forward. If you can't grab your toes, bend your knees. Grab a hold of your feet. Then straighten out your knees without letting go and lean forward. All right. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, and hold. Hold that stretch. All right. Lock those knees out. Hold on to those legs. Got to push yourself a little bit. That's how we get better with our stretching. All right. If you can go all the way down, try to get your chest to touch the ground. And then eventually you should be able to try to get the knot of your belt to touch the ground. Come on, Mr. Noah. Well, you got to work hard, right? I'm going to call you out in this class. It's black belt class. And good. Slowly bring those feet together. Okay, curl your toes down like you're trying to touch the floor with your toes. Reach on the outside of your legs to grab your heels. All right. If you can't grab your heels, bend your knees, grab a hold of your heels, and then try to straighten out your legs as far as you can without letting go. Okay. Try to get your shoulders down towards your knees. Hold that stretch. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, and hold. Hold that stretch. You can also do this stretch with using your belt. Untie your belt, put it around your feet, and grab and pull. That'll help too. So if you want good high front kicks and axe kicks, this is the stretch for you. We want to be able to try to get our shoulders down to our knees, almost folding ourselves in half. And up. Good. All right, stand up, turn around, and fix your toe box. Check out the legs just a little bit. It's a little, I know it's a little tight, a little painful, all right? All right? Work on those every day and then you'll get better. All right, if you're an adult, it takes a little bit longer. I'm sorry. I don't have actually, I do have a trick. All right, it requires scissors and 2 snips, and then you'll be fine. All right, you won't recover for a while, but once I do that, then you'll be fine down the road. So, all right, from here, 준비. Let's go back into fighting stance and key up. Yeah. All right, so let's see how well your Korean is. So from here, 앞차기, 옆차기, 돌려차기. 앞차기, 옆차기, 돌려차기. Use the appropriate hand technique after the third kick. 앞차기, 옆차기, 돌려차기. 하나. 뒤로 들어. 둘. 뒤로 전화. 발 바꿈. 셋. 뒤로 전화. 넷. 뒤로 전화. All right, so the combination was front kick, side kick, roundhouse kick. Front kick, side kick, roundhouse kick. All right, this time from here. 옆차기, 뒤로 옆차기, 훌려차기. 옆차기, 뒤로 옆차기, 훌려차기. Use the appropriate hand technique after the third kick. Ready? 하나! 뒤로 전화! 둘! 뒤로 전화! 발 바꿈! 셋! 뒤로 전화! 넷! 뒤로 전화! So the combination was side kick, reverse side kick, hook kick. Side kick, reverse side kick, hook kick. All right, this time from here. 앞차기, 앞차기, 돌려차기, 뒤로 몸 돌려 훌려차기. 앞차기, 돌려차기, 뒤로 몸 돌려 훌려차기. Ready? 하나! 뒤로 전화! 둘! 뒤로 전화! 발 바꿈! 셋! 뒤로 전화! 넷! 뒤로 전화! Combination was front kick, roundhouse kick, reverse spinning hook kick. Front kick, roundhouse kick, reverse spinning hook kick. All right, from here, this time. 전진. 전진, 내려차기, 뒤로 옆차기. 전진, 내려차기, 뒤로 옆차기. It's a little tricky. 전진, 내려차기, 뒤로 옆차기. Ready? 하나! Turn around, 뒤로 전화! 둘! 뒤로 전화! 셋! 뒤로 전화! 넷! 뒤로 전화! So the combination was forward shuffle step, axe kick, reverse side kick. Forward shuffle step, axe kick, reverse side kick. All right. All right, this time from here. 전진, 돌려차기, 뒤로 몸 돌려 훌려차기. 전진, 돌려차기, 뒤로 몸 돌려 훌려차기. One more time. 전진, 돌려차기, 뒤로 몸 돌려 훌려차기. Ready? 하나! 뒤로 전화! 둘! Come on, Mr. Noah. 뒤로 전화! 셋! 뒤로 전화! 넷! 뒤로 전화! Combination was forward shuffle step. All right, roundhouse kick, reverse spinning hook kick. All right, forward shuffle step, roundhouse kick, reverse spinning hook kick. Okay, this time from here. 전진, 반도차기, 후진, 뒤로 옆차기. 전진, 반도차기, 후진, 뒤로 옆차기. 전진, 반도차기, 후진, 뒤로 옆차기. Ready? 하나! 전진, 반도차기, 후진, 뒤로 옆차기. Okay. Ready? 둘! Turn around, 뒤로 전화. 전진 반도차기. 후진 뒤로 옆차기. Ready, set. It's okay. Net. Turn around, 뒤로 전화. Forward shuffle step, crescent kick. Backward shuffle step, reverse side kick. 반도차기, 뒤로 옆차기. All right. Okay, this time from here. 전진, 내려차기. 후진, 뒤로 몸 돌려 흘려차기. 전진, 내려차기. 후진, 뒤로 몸 돌려 흘려차기. 전진, 내려차기. 후진, 뒤로 몸 돌려 흘려차기. 하나. 둘. Turn around, 뒤로 전화. 셋. 넷. Turn around, 뒤로 전화. Forward shuffle step, axe kick. Backward shuffle step, reverse spinning hook kick was the combination. All right, everyone, come on. Show, relax. Go ahead and take a quick break. Get some water. All right, good. Step outside if you need to. Kick back leg, yep. Hujin step, you kick with the back leg as well. Hujin and Chunjin, you kick with the skip step, you kick with the front leg. And just your basic step. So if we do like a step front kick, you'll kick with the front leg. Yes, sir. Hurry up, sir. It's a good test question.
Yes, sir.
So.
I gotta get that right now.
차진, 차진, 전진, 차진. They're similar. They're similar. So. All right, real quick, 준비. So, I want everyone to go into a front stance for me, please. A front stance. So I'm going to kind of talk this through just a little bit. So from your chumbi position, when you step forward into your front stance, you want to make sure that the leg that's moving forward stays on that same railroad track that you have your feet on when you start your from your parallel stance. Okay. So your parallel stance or your chumbi stance, right? This is called a narangisogi. Narangisogi. All right. And we're going into an apgubi for your front stance. So, right, lengthwise, it should be 4 foot lengths, 4 to 4.5. Okay, 4.5 if you're taller, Mr. Hammer. For the most of the rest of us, we're going to be at 4 generally. So, the foot that you're standing on is 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Okay. Once again, these are approximates, but you're going heel to toe, right? So when you're measuring, you have to go heel toe for your length. Okay, don't just kind of eyeball and go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Just moving your foot 4 times forward doesn't mean that it's 4 foot, all right? It's 4 foot lengths, 4 to 4.5 foot lengths. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, which causes the front knee to bend, back leg should be straight. Okay. The second thing is the back leg. The leg in the back should open up about 30 degrees. Okay, about 30 degrees. So whichever direction I'm facing, I want to open up that foot about 30 degrees to that. Okay. All right. And then the final thing is from a balance standpoint, we want to push forward on the front knee while we push back on our back leg. Okay, so we're trying to push the heel down into the ground as we push forward toward our front knee. Okay, now make sure that your shoulders are angled. So whichever leg is in front, that shoulder should be slightly in front of the opposite shoulder. Don't square off. Okay. So like when you do a low block, right? That low block hand, that low block shoulder should be in front of the other hand, the resting hand. Okay. You'll find yourself not losing balance when you do that. When you start to try to even it out, try to even your shoulders out, you're going to lose your balance. You're going to fall to the, the front leg side if you square your shoulders off. Okay. All right. So anytime that you make a turn in Poomsae, whether you turn 90 degrees, halfway, 180 degrees to the opposite side, or the big turns, the 270-degree turns, you need to pivot both feet. Okay? A lot of times what happens on front stance, when we turn, a lot of people neglect to pivot. They just turn the one leg. Okay? So you need to make sure that you pivot both feet if you're moving into a front stance or a walking stance. Okay? All right. The other thing that you want to remember is whenever you turn, you want to imagine that you're standing in a parallel stance. All right? So if I'm turning to my left, I'm going to be in a parallel stance, meaning that when I turn from here to here, my left foot is going to move to that imaginary line that I'm standing on if I'm looking this way. Every stance is based off of that parallel stance, your chumbi stance, whichever direction you're facing. Okay? So if I'm facing to the left, when I turn to the left, I need to make sure that I have this spacing so I can go into that front stance, which means that instead of going straight down the line, I want to be behind the line. Okay? This is one of the flaws that a lot of people have. When you find yourself, as you're doing Poomsae, if you find yourself losing your balance a lot, it's because of the fact that you're not turning enough a lot of times on these stances. And so you don't turn enough, and then when you adjust your shoulder to get it right, you lose your balance. Okay? All right, so I'm going to let you work on your front stances. So find Poomsaes that have front stances and kind of work through those just a little bit on your own. So, Mr. Brandon, why don't you take one step back, sir? You're fine right where you're at. So, all right, and Mr. Manette, take one step back. All right, go ahead and work on your own. All right, find some Poomsaes with front stances and kind of work that a little bit. Now, black belts, you know that everything should be timed together, same time. So as you land into your stance, your hand technique gets executed or your kick gets thrown. All right? Whether you're striking or blocking, you want to make sure that when you land in your stance, the block occurs same time. Boom. Don't lean too far forward on your front stances. If you do that, your back heel is going to come up off the ground. All right? Don't lean too far back on the back leg on the front stance, because if you don't bend your front knee, all right, you're going to be out of position. Anytime you change direction on front stance, you must pivot both feet, front foot and back foot. You must pivot. When you pivot, you need to pivot on the ball of your foot, not your heel. All pivots are done with the ball of the foot, not the heel. All right. So adults, especially, make sure that you're pivoting on the ball of your foot. Your hips and knees will thank you when you do that. Why are you doing that, Poomsae, sir? That Poomsae does not have any front stances. Just that part. Then that's all you need to work on is that part, right? Now just work on those front stances. Get used to get comfortable in those stances. If you have a Poomsae that has a transition from back stance to front stance, you have to slide that front foot forward one step, and then you have to pivot the back leg. So that front foot stays on that same track, that same railroad track, just moves forward. Don't spread out. Don't step to the side. That's a very small front stance, Miss Addie. 4 foot lengths. Push that front knee forward. Push that back heel down into the ground. Okay. A lot of people, if you don't push your back heel into the ground, it looks like your back knee is bent. All right, so push that back heel, drive it into the ground. That'll lock that back knee out and make that stance really good. All right, Poomsae team, you need to be paying very close attention to what I'm telling you right now, because this is what your stances should look like for competition. All right. If you want to do well in competition, you have to have good front stances. Lots of front stances in our Poomsaes. Pay attention to your balance. Yes, sir. On the kick, yeah. So, I'm sorry. Key up here, and then kick too. Yep. Sorry. Try to make sure that you're balanced in that stance, all right? At balance, pushing that heel down as you're pushing forward. Opposing forces, one to the front, one to the back. One of the things that you can do is certainly if you just want to work on your turns and getting in the right position, use the lines on the floor, right? Or put lines on the floor when you're at home. Just a piece of, masking tape or something, right? And basically, just line up that chumbi position and then basically shift and then practice hitting that line here when you turn. And just a couple more minutes. Still a little narrow, ma'am, because if you were to bring that leg up here, right? Yeah, we want it to be. Yeah. So if you
I think about keeping my legs straight, right?
Yeah, so if you push the heel down, that's gonna lock the knee out. Because a lot of times what happens is that we do this. You see a lot of this on front stance because we're not concentrating on this part. So it looks like it's bent. Obviously, the back heel comes up off the ground. All right. When you start to push that heel down into the ground, now that back leg locks out. It's a nice stretch too. Stretch for your upper quad. Yes, sir. You're not even doing those front stances right that we just talked about. Yes. That's better. No, see, you can't just turn. If you just turn your feet from back stance to this, it's wrong. Once again, I told you, right? You have to pivot both, right? And you have to turn. you have to move backward on that part. Yes, go ahead. Kick him back, forearm. 1. Yes, sir. Anyone have any questions on front stance? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you do that? Here, come back.
That's walking. Yep. So you go from front to walking.
Here, the shoulders are a little off.
No, they're going to be square because you're using the opposite. Yeah. This one is an opposite here, but then you'll. Yep, yeah. When you're doing those dual hand blocks, typically, if you're doing like a dual hand where it's directly in front, then you'll square off. Now, if you're doing where one's in the front, one's in the back, like a double knife hand guarding block or just a standard guard, then you'll keep it sideways. Yep. So I think in ITF, there's a reinforcement block where, so you'll do it this way where rather than doing it this, it would be here. So. Yes, Mr. Bina. The toes, balls of your feet should be 1 foot length, right? Your chumbi, your parallel stance. All right. So everyone's chumbi. When you go into chumbi, there should be 1 foot length in between your feet, one of your feet. All right. So it's generally about a shoulder width to just inside your shoulders if you have really broad shoulders. All right. It's not going to be wider than your shoulders. That's the thing. Okay. That's the width that you want to maintain. So when we talk about the width, it's where the toes are, not the heels. Okay. Because why? We pivot on the ball of our foot. So the toes will always stay there. But when we pivot our heel, the heels get closer to each other. Okay. So like those of you who have the diagrams on the stances, if I've given you the diagram sheet, you will see a lot of times there'll be a fist on that diagram saying that the heels are a fist width apart from each other. So that's how we get that fist width. You create that 30-degree angle with that back leg, right? There's your fist width that you'll see on the paper, right? And then your feet kind of moved out. So, okay. If you do not have a copy of that stance document, let me know. I will get that to you. I have copies here in person, and I can send you electronic copies too. All right. That has the stances in Korean though. So that's why you kind of need to know the Korean. All right. So Narangisogi is your parallel stance or your chumbi position. All right. Your attention position is moasogi, close stance. All right. Your horse riding stance is juchumsogi. Your walking stance is opsogi. Up. All right. And then your front stance is opgubi. Your back stance is tikgubi. So, all right. Okay. And then obviously for secondary black belts, you got hakdarisogi. All right, which is your one-legged stance or your crane stance. You have a cross stance, all right, up koasogi, or back, or for blue belts, T koasogi, which is your back cross stance. Take a gojang. All right, for let's see, for black belts, when you do in koryo, when you step in front, up koasogi for your stepping upside, or not stepping upside. Front cross stance, side kick. It's not a stepping up side kick. People think it's a step and side kick. It's a front cross stance, side kick. So, yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and if I know some of you that are getting ready to test, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of ask questions, work on anything that you need to work on. The rest of you who are not testing, all right, I want you guys to work on your 1-steps, please. Unless you're on Poomsae team. If you're on Poomsae team, then I want you to work on what we worked on Tuesday. Okay? So, all right. Questions for those that are testing. Anything that I can help you with in order to get you ready. Poomsogi. Poom. All right. So, all right. 8 seconds, yes. 8-second movements, right, are your in koryo here, and then in take a parchang, this is 8 seconds. Okay, right? If you do kumgang, this is 8 seconds for second degrees. All right, everything else is 5 seconds. Okay, so when you go into your junbi position, it's 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when you in Taegu Yukjang, when you do this part, this is 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, make sure that the left hand is on the outside because you're moving your left foot back in. So this is another thing. Whichever leg you're moving, that hand should be on the exterior when you do this movement here. You'll find that in Chirchang as well, right? When you make your turn for your spread block, you're moving your left leg, your left hand should be on the outside. Correct. Okay. Okay. Your koryo junbi is also 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In Chirchang, your close stance A is 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, black belts, that's a good question. Huh? Muosogi. Muosogi. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, go ahead. No, you just work by yourself because I think, oh, actually, you and Mr. Ferrer can work together. All right, so because he's working. What you need anything help on anything? You're good. Okay, are you good? You want to do some self defense, Carter? You want to do some self defense with her real quick? Thanks. Miss Lizette, let's have you come up here. Sabina, let's have you come over this side real quick. Or no, you're fine there. Brandon, come over this side. You have some room. Spread out. Okay, let me see again, Ms. Virginia. Okay, it's better. See, you still just here. Yeah, you got to pull back, way back, right? Boom. Okay. There you go. That's better. Same thing with the knife hand. When you go to this side, boom, right? You got to make it big. Kuge. All right. So reach back far. Yeah. 1 and then 2. Yes. Okay. You want to work on your kick, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to move it. There you go, sir. I know.
We got up to and filled it full of sand. It's like it's a workout just to cross the basement.
Yeah. Well, it's denser than water, so you know.
So when I do the kick, you just want me to go from just like this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Right. I mean, if you want to stay in a horse riding stance and just lift and thrust, that's fine. You can do that. Totally up to you.
I was wondering, actually, I was thinking about it yesterday.
You want to go off back leg, you can do that as well. I mean, the only thing about back leg is that if you lean back too far, right, your energy is going back. You lean back or you lean too far forward, then you're gonna not get good leverage. Back leg is tough because you have to make sure that you get that knee here. That way you can get that push in. Yeah, the extension in. This is kind of a cheating, right? Because you eliminate this pivot, right? Because that's where the inconsistency is, right? Because if you pivot too far or whatever, you're off balance, you're gonna miss your target. So
I think I can break the boards.
Mhm.
Just
all you need to do is basically extend and pivot. If you can do that, you're gonna be fine. Yeah. Yep. Because like I said, it just gets intimidating because a lot of people is like, oh yeah, it's like when I'm holding it, you see a lot of space, right? But then when you see that unit, it's like it's almost seems like it closes down the surface area of what you see visually, because why? It's a massive unit, right? What's my hand is now, this thick, right? My hand is like my fist is like huge, right? It's like this is my entire fist. Whereas here, you see all this big surface area and it fine, but then psychologically you're going, oh, that's a small target. And so I'm trying to eliminate any of these extra variables that you might be able to get yourself into, where you're going to end up hitting too high, you hit the top part of that board breaking, or you hit too low kind of thing. So yep. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's easy, simple. You're still doing reverse side, sir? Okay.
should be good on the right.
Mhm.
Maybe a blindfold. The left is a little trickier.
Well, like I said, then slow it down. I mean, that's the big thing, right? Pump and then just. But yeah, I mean, I even here. So here, then you can accelerate into it, right? Nobody spot that target.
My foot knows where the target is. I trust it.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
But you're right. It does help if I slow it down a little bit. You get a
little head turn.
Mm-hmm.
First. Yeah. It's always about that spotting the target, because a lot of times we start to rush it, and you're turning and you haven't turned. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when you're like nervous,
Mm-hmm.
excited about it.
Well, I mean, and I could tell you use the back kick a lot when you sparred, because you have a sparring style back kick. All right, because it's almost like a mule kick. Mm-hmm. Such a good kick. It's such a good kick. It works. So you just have to have good timing with it. Mm-hmm.
Paddle comes out.
Yeah.
We used to do that like
Mm-hmm.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But, all right, so I think I'm all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I don't have any concerns by any means. So it's just what you feel like you might be lacking. I mean, you've put in the time and everything recently with all of this stuff. So.
I think the only like we've got the list of self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
But and grabs. What about the bear hug one? Is that one that you're gonna want to see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, so so if it over the hand versus coming up underneath, so two different things. So.
Is the one all right? Just to grab the little pinky.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Just make sure that you turn. Use the correct hand and then try to turn to that side. Yeah, and then that way you can. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times people pull this one and they want to move the other way. You know what I'm saying? They pull this one and then want to move over here. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Or once again, right? Create the diversion, right? Yeah. A stomp, yeah. Well, head you can. I mean, obviously, I'm not a big fan of trying to bump that. I'd rather use my leg or my heel. So if I can hit a shin, or if I can stomp a foot, then that creates the diversion to at least weaken this. So now I can get the release. Right. Because that's the key on the bear hug, is just try to get the release before they get you off of your feet and they get you to the ground. Yeah. Right. So. Mm-hmm. So from here, when you pivot, just push, okay? Don't do this, okay? Don't do that with your knee, okay? you have a kind of a habit of trying to pull and then go like this. Don't do that. Okay. Just come up and then start pushing forward from there. So once it comes up, start pushing. Don't wait. Don't wait. Up, push. Okay. Again. There you go. See, better. All right, another minute or two and we'll finish up. Any questions, Miss Virginia? Okay, good. What stance, Miss Lizette? We just talked about this, huh? All right, we're not doing a very good job of listening or paying attention. Where's our focus? No. Nope. It could be a trick. It could be a trick question. Yeah, 19 movements. If I time you, it should take you 25 seconds. There you go, Mr. Hammer, just like that. It's just try to, just get that heel moving forward quickly. You went and stomped there. She was up here. And that's where you do the punt kick. Yeah, punt kick into their stomach. If they're up. You have to understand what did you get them all the way to the ground or did you get them just to here like this? Right? It's hard to stomp if I'm standing here like this. Right? It's hard to stomp on my back because you got to have really good lifter muscles to get that knee up high, right? Because you got to get the whole leg up there, so. Mm-hmm.
So then, are people falling down to the ground? Or we don't know?
Depends on I'll have to look and kind of see who we have. So if I can do it safely, yes. But I mean, let's say if I have you two working together, I'm gonna have you guys probably do it because you guys are same height. So I wouldn't do it necessarily if I had like Isaiah working with you.
Well, I like Isaiah.
I know that. I understand that, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, we're gonna try to do it. I just want it done safely because the biggest thing is we haven't worked on the falling piece because I've just been so busy training you guys on just, hey, these are the ones that you need to know to get you ready for the test. So. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll start working on the other piece of that because, that's going to be very helpful in protecting you from getting injured. It's like kind of like what happened earlier in the class with those two, right? Because if you don't know, if you're not paying attention, that's the other thing, right? If you're not paying attention, right, you could land wrong. And, I've seen people break wrists and compound fracture, trying to break their fall. All right, both bones sticking out the middle right there. He had to get the halo and the pins put in there and everything. It's rotten. So, all right, let's go ahead and line back up, please. Let's finish up. Good job, everyone. All right, from here, face flags, 차렷, and 경례. Face me, please. 차렷, 사부님께 경례. 운동 끝. 좋네요. Have a good night. Those of you who are not testing, all right, no class until next week. Those of you who are testing, good luck. I'm better you than me, all right? No. All right, class dismissed. Good job, everyone. All right, well done. So, we'll see you on Saturday, Virginia, okay?
Okay, sir.
I have
bye.
you scheduled for 11:30 practice, okay? 11:30 on Saturday here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tell mommy and daddy I said hi.
Okay. Bye, sir.